Let me start recording the session. Shit. Okay. Now till now we have understood how to compile the Java program. Now we will understand how to execute the Java program. The command to execute the Java program is, okay, some question here, and Riaz is asking question, please can you tell me what should I use to run the program like Notepad, but I don't have the Notepad in my Mac. Sublime text is also fine. Any editor like Notepad, where you can type some plain text, that is fine. Sublime text generally we use to write HTML programs, if I am not wrong. No, Toyn is asking a question. Is there not meant to be a semicolon at the end of the bracket after arcs? No, no semicolon. Rias, did I answer your question? Toyn, did I answer your question? Okay, thank you. Now I will continue. I'll continue. Now, till now, I have only compiled the Java program. Now I need to execute or run my Java program. The command to execute the Java program is Java and the class name. For example, class name is demo. The class name is demo. Here you need not to give it as dot class. No, wrong. Only class name you need to give, and the name of the class is demo. Hit enter. Okay, it is giving main method not found in class called demo. Please define the main method as public static void main and string arguments. Or a Java FX application must extend Java application. 1 second, just let me check. Okay, run this, just hold on, because I made the changes. After that I didn't save the changes. Okay, now I'm going to compile the Java program. So only .java is there. Please observe, I can compile all the Java programs like this: Java C star.java. What is the meaning? Java C compiler, star means all, that is compile all .java programs. That's the meaning. Hit enter. Observe, I got the .class files, demo.class, sample.class. Let me run the Java program. Java demo. The program has executed successfully. Okay, similarly I can run sample class Java sample. The program is executed successfully. But people may be wondering that you say, Shishira, that program is running successfully, but I am not able to see anything. How do I conclude that the program is running successfully? What is an evidence that running program is running or executed successfully? I'm not able to see anything, isn't it? Here, please observe, in our Java program, it is a software or a logic. I didn't write any logic at all in my main program. Did I write any logic here so that after execution of the program that logic is executed or some functionality happens? I didn't do anything, correct? So the program, evidence for running the program is that if it was not properly executed, it would have shown me some errors. I'll repeat once again. If it had not successfully executed, it would have shown me some errors. And in my case, since it is not showing any errors or exceptions, I can conclude that my Java program called demo and sample executed properly without any problems. But it is not displaying, it is not showing anything. Why? Because I have not written any logic to perform something. You understand? So let me write one simple logic that when I execute Java program like sample or demo, it has to print a message saying that successfully executed. I'll repeat.
Shira, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt,
Yes, please.
but I have a question. I'm following what you're doing, but well, I created two files and compiled those successfully, and I
Mm-hmm.
can see the two class files,
Mm-hmm.
demo.class and sample.class.
Mm-hmm.
When I try to execute using Java and then demo.class, for
Okay.
example,
Okay.
I get an error saying could not find or load main class demo.class.
Okay.
But I
So
don't get any other error message after that. I'm getting this for both my files, demo
okay.
file and
Okay.
sample file.
Fine. Fine. See, you need to concentrate, Yadvinder, on few things like it is exactly the main method is written exactly like however I have written here. Public space static space void space main. S is uppercase square bracket.
Yes.
If it is exactly the same, it should execute. It must execute. There must be something wrong there. There must be something wrong. The meaning of that error message is your JVM is not able to load the main method. I'll repeat, your JVM is not able to load the main method. Okay?
I see something wrong. I think after main I gave one space.
No, no,
Would
no.
it not
I mean, that should be
space?
fine. Here space is fine. Your 10 space. This is also fine. Absolutely fine.
Okay, okay,
Okay, see what we can do is after the class, after this session, okay, you can share your desktop with me. Okay, you can share the
okay.
desktop with me. I can definitely look into your program.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll use some desktop sharing softwares and I can look into your program. Because
All
now
right
I
then.
have to assume the errors in your programs, correct? It becomes
Yeah,
little
yeah. No, that's
difficult.
fine.
Yeah.
Please continue. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So if any others has got any questions, they can ask. So here Toin has asked the question, semicolon is required to terminal to run on Mac. I didn't understand the question, Toin. Can you please repeat your question? Or can you please elaborate your question? Okay. Okay, semicolon is not required in fact. Semicolon is not required. Fine, thanks. Now I was explaining that when I run the Java program sample or demo, it should display a message. It should print a message on the command prompt saying that sample program executed successfully, demo program executed successfully. Okay, for doing that, if you remember in C programming language, if you know C programming language, we use a command or we use something called printf. We use something called printf to print the message, to print the message, to print the message, right? In the same way, in Java, if you want to print any message, you need to use something called, this is a little lengthier one, system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println. Here we need to understand system S is uppercase. Be careful, in system S is uppercase. Okay, and here I'll explain this entire the meaning of the entire line. Executed successfully. the meaning of this point is see here. Here S is uppercase. When I say system, the meaning of the system, this system represents the system which we are using to run the program. The system which we are using to run the program. In my computer, what is that system that I'm using to run the program? Please observe, I am using something called command prompt. So can I call it as a system which I'm using to execute or run the program? So now here command prompt represents the system. Okay, in this command prompt, either I can give the input through the command prompt, I can give the input to your program, or the program can give the output to the command prompt. I will repeat once again. This command prompt represents the system on which I'm running my program. In the command prompt or through this command prompt, I can pass some input to my Java program. How to pass the input to my Java program through command prompt we will understand in today's class itself. Okay. Second thing, through the Java program I can give some, or I can pass some output to my command prompt. If I explain this here, let's imagine now I have one Java program that is a successfully executed Java program that is nothing but a .class file. Okay, now I have command prompt. I call it as system. Using this command prompt, I can give some input to my Java program, option number one, or using the .class file, I can give some output to the command prompt. For writing the output, we use system.out. The meaning is, to the system I'm passing some output. Similarly, from the command prompt, if I'm giving some input to my Java program, we use something called system.in. System.in means input from the system to the Java program. System.out means output from the Java program to the system. That's the meaning. Okay. Now if I compare this, system.out, I'm giving an output to the system from this program called demo program. What output I'm giving? I'm giving an output saying that demo program executed successfully, and I'm asking to print. Here there is something called LN. LN stands for new line. Print in the new line. What message that has to be printed? Demo program executed successfully. Please note that this message must be present inside these double quotes. This message must be present inside the double quotes. Okay, we call this as a string. We call this as a string. Whatever it is present within double quote, we call it as string. String message. We call it as string message. Now this is an output. That's why I'm using system.out. Then this is print in new line. LN stands for new line. That's the meaning. That's why when you run this program, It's going to print a message, demo program executed successfully. Okay, very important thing, as like I said, this and this double quotes are very important. Any message that you write must be present within these double quotes. This is the syntax. Okay, here this is uppercase, this is uppercase. This is little tricky in Java. Until you get comfortness in Java, you sometimes may get confused on where to use uppercase, where to use lowercase. Over the period of time, you will be adjusted to this. Okay, this is my Java program. Now can I say compared to my earlier program, I've made the changes. Save the changes to your program. Save the changes to your program. Now I need to recompile the Java program because I made the modifications to Java program. Every time when you make the modifications to your Java program, you need to recompile the program. The command to recompile or to compile is javac demo.java. Because I have made the modifications to demo program, hence I'm going to modify it. Hit enter. Okay, here earlier demo.class was there. This demo.class is updated. Every time when you recompile, the .class file is updated. Now let me execute this program or run the program. The command for running the program is java demo. Hit enter. Just see the message, demo program executed successfully. Similarly, I can do the same thing even in my sample program also. System.out.print new line. What is supposed to be printed? Some message. Hello all. Some message. Save the program. Go to the command prompt. Recompile the sample program. javac. There is no command for recompilation. Same command for compilation I need to use once again. javac sample.java. Hit enter. My sample.class is updated. Okay, and the command to execute is java. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
Am I
please.
right in saying that every time you recompile, it'll overwrite the
Overwrite the .class file.
.class file? Okay.
Yes.
So you don't really need to delete
No,
the
nothing.
files.
No, it's
All right.
going to
Okay. Cheers.
overwrite or it's going to
Okay.
update the contents of .class file.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So the command to execute the .class file is .java sample. That is the class name. Hit enter. It is printing a message, hello all. So at the nutshell, what you need to understand is when I write a Java program, okay, when I write a Java program, I'm just going to save this, okay, input and output. Okay, when I write the Java program, okay, this is very important. This is like, you know, this is like an engine which runs your Java program, okay, and this one is an message that uses to print on the command prompt. Okay, this is used to print and this is used to execute. Clear? This is called scope of the class. Scope of the class. Scope of the class. Remember, anything and everything that I write in Java program is within this open brace and the close brace. Okay, and also this is called This is called scope of main method. This is called main method. This is called main method. And this is called the scope of the main method. Scope of the main method. In Java, spaces, tab space, next line, 10 lines does not really matter. I can write it like this. This is perfectly fine. The program works. The tab space, line space and all hardly matters. But it is case
Shishira,
sensitive. Yes, please.
what about the brackets? Do they have to,
Yes, you have to.
for example, closing bracket, does
Yes,
it have to be
yes, you
in the
have to.
same sequence?
Yes. The moment you write open, you have to write the close, but you can close it
No, no,
in
no. That's
like
not my
this.
question.
Hmm.
Yeah, this was my question about the curly brackets.
Okay, this one.
So can you tab it and move it, or does it have
Yeah.
to be exactly
No,
underneath
no,
the
no,
open bracket?
no.
Because some languages they do. Okay, fine, thank you. All right,
This
okay,
program
cheers.
works perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
See, what Java demands is the moment you open, you close. Where do you close? It does not really matter. Okay?
Okay,
This, whatever you see on the screen perfectly works. Okay? But it is not readable. This doesn't really look good. It becomes very difficult for someone to understand. Okay? This program looks neat.
yes.
Okay? This program looks very neat. So this is easier for maintaining my code. Okay? So that's about how to write the Java program, how to execute the Java program. Remember only one thing, for execution you need main method. Okay. But in industry, we don't write the Java program by using command prompt, notepad. No, we never do this. Okay? Because as and when the project grows, I cannot keep writing all the Java programs, compile them or write them using notepad, compile them using command prompt. It is a very time consuming process. In industry, we never do that. In the actual project, we never do that. 99.99% of the cases, no one executes all this program using command prompt and no one writes the Java program using command prompt. Then what do? We use something called IDE. We use something called IDE. Okay? IDE stands for, one second. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to, I'm going to start it once again. Okay? Let us understand what is the meaning of IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. D I D, then that's the meaning. What is this integrated development environment? Let us understand in short, okay, or in brief. Just now we developed the Java programs. For me to develop the Java program, what I need, yes, Toin, I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording. Thanks for reminding. Okay. For me to develop the Java program, I need I need one I need one notepad. I need one notepad. This is just for developing the Java program. Then to compile the Java program, I need command prompt. I compile. After compilation, I execute my Java program. Okay. For doing all these things, I need certain environment. The environment which is required for us to develop the program, I call it as development environment. As of now, the development environment looks very simple. That is one notepad, one command prompt. This is very small Java program. Think about Selenium. You need to develop the Selenium program. Once you develop the Selenium programs using Java and Selenium library using Notepad, you need to execute them using command prompt. Once you execute, it certainly requires something called browser to execute, browser based. Tomorrow you may have to execute on mobile, so you need a mobile environment. Right. So put together, these are all the environment for me to execute or develop and execute. Typically, we call it as development environment. Okay. Now, instead of using separate notepad, separate command prompt, separate browser, separate mobile environment, instead of using everything separately or independently, it's always good that I combine or integrate. That is, the entire development environment is integrated and it is available under one roof. Everything is available one roof. Command prompt, yes, available. Notepad, yes, available. Servers I can integrate, yes, you can integrate server. You need a browser, yes. You need a mobile interfaces, yes. Everything is integrated. That is, the entire development environment is integrated and it is available under one roof, and we call it as integrated development environment. Just to give you one realistic examples for this. Okay, let's say you want to purchase something. You want to purchase the mobile. You should go to mobile stores or electronic stores. You can purchase it. Correct? Now, I want to purchase vegetables. Go to some store, vegetable store. I don't know how in UK, but in India we have separate vegetable stores where only vegetables are available. You purchase that. Okay. Now I want to purchase cloth. Go to textiles. Go to textiles and purchase the cloth. This is a typical environment for purchasing. This is option number one. Option number two, you can go to some stores like Target stores or some retail stores like Target, or which is very popular retail store in UK. Is it Tesco? I don't know. Some popular.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say Tesco. In US, very popular is Walmart. Walmart is very popular in US. Okay. Or Target is very popular in US. Right? So these are all retail stores. You go to this retail store, you get everything under one roof. You can get mobile, you can get vegetables, you can get textiles, you get toys, you get stationery products, everything, eatables, everything you get under one roof. Can I call it as an integrated shopping environment? In the same way, whatever it is required for you to develop, whatever it is required for you to develop an application, what do I need? I need Notepad to develop the application. I need command prompt to run the application. I need browser to run the application. I need server. Like that, lot of development environment you put and bring it under one roof. I call it as integrated development environment. Okay, very popular integrated development environment, at least in terms of Java, or in terms of Java, Eclipse. It's very popular. NetBeans, decent one. IntelliJ, very powerful. RAD, rational. application developer, WSAR, WebSphere application developer. You have Notepad is not that greatly an IDE. So these are all, there are many more. Okay, there are many more. Which is widely used in market? Widely used in market is Eclipse. It's very popular. 90% of the cases people use Eclipse. IntelliJ is also very powerful. I can say it is powerful than the Eclipse, or it has got features better than Eclipse, but this is paid one. This is paid one, but Eclipse is free. Eclipse is free. NetBeans is also free, but it's not that greatly used. You know, it has not that great features compared to Eclipse. Eclipse is very popular. Okay, in our course also, from now we are going to use Eclipse as an IDE for developing Java applications, executing Java applications, developing Selenium applications, and executing Selenium applications. Am I clear? If you have any questions related to IDE, please ask me.
I just want to ask you, Eclipse is suitable for Mac?
Yes. Yes. Eclipse comes for all the platforms like Mac, or for Linux, Ubuntu, Windows. For everything you get the Mac. You get Eclipse.
All right.
Okay.
Shira, I've got
Yeah.
a question.
Yes, please.
Did you say it's 90% free?
Not 90% free. It is 90% used and it is free.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I missed that.
Maybe okay. The way I represented is wrong here. 90%
No, I
of
missed
the
it.
industry people use it, and it is free. I said.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Here, Mahbub has a question. Why? Mahbub, what is that OI for mobile testing? No, I could not understand what is the meaning of that. Fine. Now let us see how to download IDEs like Eclipse and how to use them. Clear? Let's start. Okay, let us understand how to download and install Eclipse. It is very easy. Go to Google, search for download Eclipse for Java. Download Eclipse for Java. You get this Eclipse downloads. See, you get Eclipse. Okay. Please observe one very important thing. All the different versions of Eclipse comes with an alphabetical order, that is A to Z. For example, long back we had an option in E. We had a version of Eclipse called Europa. G had an option called Galileo and Ganymede. Okay. H has a version called Helios. I has a version called Indigo. J has a version called Juno. K has an option called Kepler. L has something called Luna. M has something called Mars. I think Mars is the latest version. Mars is the latest version. So just this is how you need to remember which is the latest version. It's in an alphabetical order. Yes, Yadvinder, different versions of IDE. That is, Eclipse has different versions. These are all little older versions. Luna, Mars, Kepler, they are the newer versions. Okay, this is how we can remember what is the latest versions of Eclipse. Fine. Then when you go to the link here, you see Eclipse IDE for Java developers, Eclipse IDE for C, C++ developers, PHP developers, Java and EE developers. What is the meaning of Java and EE developers? This is if you want to develop Java along with J2EE, that is Enterprise Edition. In the last class, if you remember, I was explaining there are three variants of Java. One is Java SE, Java EE, Java ME. EE for Enterprise Edition, that is to develop web and enterprise application. ME, that is to develop micro editions. And SE for developing plain Java applications. Okay, you can install this Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Okay, so using this you can work with XML, Maven, etc. Depending on the system, you can use it for 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay, I can just, since I'm using 64-bit system, I can use it. Just download for 64-bit. Just click on download. See, it is a zip file. It is a compressed file. It is not an installer. Please understand, it is not an installer. This is just a zip file. Save this zip file into whatever the location of your choice. So I'm saving this into D drive, Shishira folder. Here I'm going to create a new folder called softwares, and I'm going to save here. It takes some time. The downloading takes some time. Download takes some time. Shit. Okay. When I write this automation script, what really matters for you is, are you writing this automation script on Java? Then write the automation script using Eclipse for Java. If you are writing the automation script on Ruby, use the Eclipse. Use Ruby, Eclipse which supports Ruby. You understand? So your Eclipse is definitely required for, or the Eclipse is definitely required for writing the automation script, and on which language you are writing the automation script. Based on that, you need to download the appropriate versions of Eclipse. But it does not really matter on which technology the application is developed.
Yes, that was my question, really.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so it's all clear now. Cheers.
Okay, fine. And once you use Eclipse, okay, you get a lot of, see, generally, let us take the reality, okay. The reality is that if you are writing automation scripts, you use any one of the programming languages like Ruby, Java, Python, etc. You need, this is, I call it as programming language, okay, and you need browser to run the application, and you may integrate some continuous integration tools like Jenkins. You may use build automations called as Maven. You may use TestNG. Or you may use JUnit. So max to max, according to my experience, these are all the technologies. I'll explain you what is Jenkins later. Okay. These are max to max. You use all these technologies. Example XML also. Okay, you use all these technologies for automation, at least from Selenium perspective. Max to max, you use all these things. Okay, for example, one more thing, there is something called SVN. SVN. Okay, these are all the standard technology that 95% of the Selenium automation framework uses these technologies. Programming language, browser, Jenkins, Maven, XML, TestNG or JUnit and SVN. I'm talking about 95% of the projects in the market uses this technology to automate and to develop the automation framework. And Eclipse supports all of this. The Eclipse which we are downloading now supports all of this. Everything is supported. Am I clear? Here now at this point of time you don't really have to worry about what is Jenkins, what is Maven, what is TestNG, XML, SVN. Please don't worry. This will be
Okay.
taught to you in detail once we start understanding what is a framework, how to develop the framework, what are the standard practices, best practices that we use. All of these things we are going to discuss in future. Okay, everything we'll discuss. But as of now, don't worry. I just wanted to name the technologies that are generally used, and I wanted to conclude that Eclipse supports all this technology.
Thank you.
Okay. Mahbub, I'm clear? Okay. Some question. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Let us see whether Eclipse downloaded properly or not. Fine. Eclipse is downloaded. So go to that location. So this is a compressed file. The Eclipse is not an exe. It is a compressed file. Okay. Please observe this is the Mars. Which version we have downloaded? Mars. So this, just right click on this. This is not an exe, hence I need not to install this. Just right click on this, extract it. Extract it. Okay, it is extracted. Please open the extracted folder. Once you, that's it. This is what the installation of Eclipse is all about. You need not to double click and execute it. You need not to set the path. Nothing is required. Just download the compressed version, that is the zip file, right click and extract it. After extracting, just click on this Eclipse. The Eclipse is starting. No, first thing, once the Eclipse starts, it basically asks for, once the Eclipse starts, it basically asks for something called workspace. What do you mean by this workspace? The workspace is nothing but a space in your hard disk where we develop the programs. For example, I have C drive, D drive, possibilities. I may have E drive, I may have pen drive. I have different location in my entire hard disk. Where are we going to create the programs? Where are you going to create the project? Where do you write your programs? That location is called workspace. Clear? So let us create all our program under the jar files are installed. Toin, there is no concept of jar files here. I never introduced something called jar file. Toin has asked a question, say jar files are installed or not. There is no jar file here at all. Okay, fine. In this location, I create a new folder called as workspace. WS stands for workspace, and I give under this I create another folder called as Europe folder. EU workspace stands for Europe workspace because few students are here participating from Germany and few students are from UK, and I think 1 or 2 students from Ireland. That's why consolidated I have created a folder called EU workspace, that is Europe workspace. Okay, where it is present in D Shishira workspace, EU workspace. Copy this location or click on browse. Click on browse. In my computer, it's in D Shishira workspace, EU workspace. Just browse the location of the workspace, click on OK. This is the location of my workspace. Click on OK. Now Eclipse is getting started. Eclipse is getting started. Once you get an Eclipse, it gives you a welcome. You can go through the tutorial. You can see sample examples and all. I really treat this as a waste of time. Just click on close. Click on close. Don't never go through Eclipse tutorial. It is very easy. The moment you start practicing, automatically you see the features. Okay. Close everything here. Close this. Minimize this. Minimize this. Everything is minimized. This is how the Eclipse look like. This is how the Eclipse look like. Okay. Now, what is the first step that I need to do once I open the Eclipse is, just let me open Eclipse. Once you open the Eclipse, second step is select workspace. What's the third step? Create the project. What project? Java project. Create the Java project. This is the third step. How do I create the Java project? For creating the Java project, first thing, see in Eclipse, whatever you need, you can search here. Whatever you need in Eclipse, you can search here. There is something called quick access. You get everything here. Okay, there is something called navigator. NAV, type NAV, you get something called navigator. Okay, you get something called navigator. You get the same option here also. Windows, show view, navigator. Window, show view, navigator. If you want, you can get the navigator like this, or just search for navigator. You get the navigator here. Select the navigator. So this is a pane where we start the project. Okay. First step is, after Eclipse, once the Eclipse opens, you need to create a project. Right click, new Java project. You can also search for other projects like this, general project, different projects. You can create Maven project, example project and all. We don't want all this. We just want a Java project. I'll cancel. I'll show it once again. Right click, new Java project, or click here, Java project, or file, new Java project. All are same. File, new Java project, or here you can select the new Java project, or right click, new Java project. Anything is fine. Create the Java project. I give the project as demo project. I give it as demo project. Click on, don't do anything, just click on finish. Just click on finish. If you expand this, you get two folders. One is called SRC, stands for source. One is called bin, stands for binary. Let us see what is the meaning of SRC and bin. Please observe here, every time when I write the Java program and when I compile, after successful compilation I get a dot class. This is called as binaries. Whatever the dot class we get is called as binaries, and whatever the dot Java is called as source. Source stands for, SRC stands for source, that is nothing but the Java program. Automatically the compilation process happens and the dot class file goes inside something called bin. This process happens automatically. Am I clear? Here in manually, I need to develop the Java program. I need to open the command prompt. I need to type javac demo.java, etc., etc., and then the dot class is generated. Correct? But in case of Eclipse, it's not like that. I create a Java program, automatically it will be compiled and automatically a dot class file is generated. Just let us see what's one small example. right click on src, new, write a Java class. Write a Java class. What is the name of the Java class? For example, demo. Java class is demo. Click on finish. Please observe, sorry, automatically package is created. 1 second. I'll delete this. Right click, new class. I don't want any demo. Okay. Just I create the name of the class as demo. My class name is demo. Click on finish. Don't create any package as of now. What is package we'll see in next class, immediately in next class. Just write the class name, click on finish. A class called demo is created. Okay. If you don't want this line number, right click here, click on this, right click, show line number, right click, show line number. Okay. I want to increase the font. If I want to increase the font, let us see how to increase the font in a little while. Please observe, I have written a program called, even you don't want public, just select class called demo, save the program. Here is a class called demo. I have not compiled the program, but please observe under bin, demo.class is generated. That is, the moment I write, one second, it's open. This is not the one. Where is my Eclipse present? It's in D drive. Software, Eclipse. Go to this. Eclipse. This is my workspace. Click on OK. The Eclipse open. Okay. Basically, when I have written the class, automatically dot class is generated. I haven't compiled the Java program. So what is the meaning? When I write the Java program in Eclipse, automatically compilation happens behind the scene. I'll repeat, automatically compilation happens behind the scene and dot class is generated. Just observe, right click on src, new, create a class called as sample class. I don't want any package. I don't want any package. Okay. Click on finish. Please observe, automatically dot class is generated. 1 second, unhandled event loop exception. Oh, there is an SWT error. Recompile exists the workbench. Now, I don't want it. Okay. The moment when I write the Java program, automatically the dot class is generated. Now imagine if you wanted to develop this Java program and to compile, how much time it used to take in the manual process. You had to open a notepad, write the Java program, go to command prompt, compile the Java program. Here everything is very simple. Now to execute the Java program, it is much more simpler. What do we need to execute the Java program? I said that if you want to execute or run the Java program, we need main method. You can just type main, click on control space bar. This is very important. Control space bar is the shortcut. Click on control space bar. You get main method. Select, double click on it. You got the main method. Save it. I'll show it once again. You want to write the main method? Type main. Control space bar is the shortcut key. Control space bar. Select the main method. It is done. Save the program. Now I want to print something. What is a print statement? What is a print statement? System.out.println. Here just type sys out. Type sys out, control space bar. It gives the message. hello, save it. Go to this sys out, type sys out, control space bar, sample program executed successfully. Okay, so everything is pretty simple here. Now I want to execute the Java program. You need not to go to command prompt and type the command. Instead that, just right click, run as Java application. I'll repeat, just right click, run as Java application. It prints the message, sample program executed successfully.
I have a question,
Yes,
Shishira.
yes, please.
After adding each command or making changes to this file, Java file, I see we don't save it. Does it get saved automatically,
No,
or
no,
does
no,
it
no,
get?
no. If you observe, I'm saving it every time the moment when I do the changes. For example, just say I'm
Okay.
writing one more
I
sys
didn't
out.
pay attention to that.
Okay, I write on
Yeah. Okay.
one more line. One more line. I need to save this. So every time you need
Right.
to save.
Okay.
Automatic saving does not happen. Okay,
All right.
he's
Okay.
asking,
Sorry, I
can
didn't
you,
see that.
okay, Momob is asking that can you please run it once again? Right click, run as Java application. It is printing hello. Am I clear? This saves a lot of time. So ultimately, if someone asks you the why, forget about someone asking like, why do we need IDE? Why can't I use a typical traditional approach for developing the application? Why do I need this? For running the applications and developing the application, imagine for developing the application using command prompt and notepad, if it takes 10 days, then using Eclipse, same application can be developed in 3 days. Same application can be developed in 3 days. That is the advantage of any IDE. Eclipse is one example, but the advantage of any IDE is faster application development. Faster application development, because you work on the hourly basis. 10 hours, this is your salary. 12 hours, this is you are paid on the hourly basis. So Eclipse helps in faster application developments, hence the reduced in the resource cost. The resource cost can be reduced as the only biggest advantage of Eclipse. And second thing, of course, it is very easy for people to develop the application using any of such IDEs. Here there's a question from there's a question, just let me see. There's a question, some ping Toying is asking question, why it is compiling as dot class, but on the command prompt you were compiling as dot Java. No, Toying, I think you got confused. Here in my example program, in the example, please observe, I delete these two dot classes. I deleted the dot classes. I have the dot Java program. Go to command prompt, go to that particular directory. So in D Shishira examples folder, I have .java program. Java, see, that is Java compiler. Demo.java. So I am compiling .java program. Please observe, .class file I have got. I got the .class file after successful compilation. Now delete the .java program. Please observe, I have deleted the .java program. It means to say I have only .class file. So only .class, I can execute only .class. In Java, you cannot execute .java program. Please understand. In Java, you can execute only .class program. Why? Because execution means JRE, Java Runtime Environment. JRE has JVM. JVM understands only one language, that is bytecode. The extension of the bytecode is .class. If you give .java program to your JVM, JVM cannot understand. Hence, after successful compilation, please observe, I have deleted demo.java. Now, when I say Java demo, Java is the command. Java is the command, not the Java program. Java is the command. And what I'm executing? Demo.class. When I say demo, here what is demo means what it is? It is a .class file. So I'm executing only .class file. You cannot execute .java. Whether you are using Eclipse, whether you are using command prompt, whether you are using any other IDE, you cannot execute .java. You can execute only .class. Am I clear to in? Okay. So this is how we create the Java project, and this is how we execute the Java project. I'll repeat, just summary, go to Eclipse, go to Google, just search for download Eclipse. It will take you to the link, download the Eclipse. The Eclipse comes as an exe version, not the exe version. Eclipse comes as a zip file. Just right click and extract the zip file. Okay, then start the Eclipse. Once you start the Eclipse, you get the window like this. Okay, you can search for navigator here, navigator. Once you get the navigator, right click, new, create a Java project, any project, click on finish. Project is created. Once the project is created, you see two folders, src and bin. Src is the folder where .java is saved. Bin is the folder where .class is saved. So under src, create a new class. Under src, create a new class, any class name. Okay, for example, pen. Click on finish. You will see by default public. By default, you see the class with the public. Absolutely no problem. Even if you delete the public also, no problem. But as of now, I didn't introduce what is the meaning of public. That is an access specifier. We will see in later stage what is the meaning of public. Okay, but even if you have public in your Java program, absolutely no problem, it works fine. Okay, the shortcut key to get the help in Java is control spacebar. Just you can type main control spacebar, you get the main method. Sys out control spacebar, you get the main method. Okay, save the program. Okay, and if you make any mistake in the Java program, it gives you error. For example, just observe, I don't have the closing brace. It is giving you an error. Can you see this red mark? It's giving you error. On mouse over, it gives an clear error message saying that syntax error, insert closing brace. It clearly indicates close this. Now save, because save does not happen automatically. To run the Java program, right click, run as Java application, it runs. And the shortcut is Control F11. Shortcut is Control F11. Control plus spacebar is the shortcut for help. Okay. Control plus F11. Shortcut to run the program. Shortcut to run the program. These are all the two shortcuts. Any difficulty in understanding what is Eclipse, what is IDE? Any questions? Fine. There is a question asked by Shweta. The question is this. When she had, after installing Eclipse, she had created the programs and all. She said by mistake, she created the program and the program got opened in Project Explorer. Okay. But if you observe, till now we created the project under something called Navigator. So question is, what is the difference between Navigator and Project Explorer? Am I correct, Shweta?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Shishira.
See, I was answering this. Basically, these are all the different looking perspective. Okay, I'll repeat. These are all just the looking perspective. For example, if you look into a bus, if you look into bus from the front side, if you look into the bus from the front side, you could see here probably the driver seat, right? You could see headlights in the bus, correct? But the same thing, if you look the bus from the side view, you could see only the wheels along with the window, probably the door, these things you see. But bus is the same. So it's all the different perspectives of looking into the same entity. Similarly, a project can be looked from Navigator perspective. Same project can be looked from the Project Explorer also. What is the difference? Just observe my screen. Observe the screen. If I look into everything, all this folder structure, this is how the folder structure look in Windows, isn't it? In the same way, if I look into my project, everything looks like, since I'm comfortable more with Windows, I want to view my project in this perspective. That's why I use Navigator. In the Navigator, you could able to see bin, SRC, everything. But in the Project Explorer, the same project, you are not able to see bin. You can see only the Java programs, but not the dot class programs. Clear? So the conclusion is this, they are just the different perspectives of looking the same project or different angles of looking the same project. If you are comfortable with Project
So it
Explorer,
gives you just a source file.
can you come again?
Sorry. So in the Project Explorer, you can only see the source files, right?
Yes, only source, not the bin. That's dot class. Because many people think that for me, for writing the Java program, only .java is enough. I don't need dot class. Correct. Anyhow, I know that Eclipse creates the dot class, and without the dot class, nothing works. Hence, I don't want to see dot class. So many people use only Project Explorer, but I personally use only Navigator. Is it clear? You can use both. You can use both. No problem.
Clear for me.
There is some problem in this Eclipse, the downloaded one. I don't know whether it is stable or not. Every time, because the multiple Eclipse I have. Just let me search for some other Eclipse. Yeah, Shweta?
Yeah, Shishira.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, you can actually use the other one. We don't mind,
Okay,
the
fine.
older version if you have.
Okay, fine. Because this Eclipse, every time it is giving some errors. Okay, just let me see some other versions of Eclipse. Sorry.
While you're doing that, Shishira, can I ask a question as well?
Yeah, please, definitely, yes.
You can answer later on, but
Please ask me questions, no problem.
on this downloads page, I saw one variant of Eclipse which was for testers.
Is it? Okay, let me open this
Yeah,
once again. One second. In this page?
Yes, on the downloads page, if you scroll down, right at the bottom, it says Eclipse for testers. So I was wondering what sort of variant is that?
No, not able to see the Eclipse for testers, okay.
The last one.
Okay, it
So it talks
supports
about,
quality assurance processes. So you observe this. It supports like quality QA processes such as Jubula and Mylin. I am not comfortable with what is Jubula and all. I can definitely guess what it does. Okay, maybe it has an extra support, or it may have a lot of plugins for your for QA process related documentations. For example, you may want to integrate with Bugzilla. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, you want to integrate with Bugzilla, so this may have an option to integrate with Bugzilla. You may want to communicate directly with let's say some tool where you manage all your test cases and all. So in that case, you may link that directly from here. So just we will click on this and we will see what it has. Maybe such some features it may have, according to me. See detailed feature list. Let's see this detailed feature list. Eclipse feature supports.
the previous question I asked about,
Hmm.
whether we have to install Eclipse variant for each different technology,
Yes.
like Python and so on. So that came from this particular variant which I saw.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
obviously it is Eclipse for testers, so I was wondering if everything can be done in here rather than going to each individual one, which I think is not the case.
No, Yadvinder. It's always better to go with the the development versions of Eclipse. I will tell you why. See, from the you are not just testing an application, but instead you are also developing the Selenium scripts, if I'm not wrong, correct?
That's right.
So then you are one or the other way using the features of development. Though you are doing the process of testing, but indirectly you are developing the programs. So that's why you have to download the development versions of Eclipse.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
See, please
So,
observe here. Please observe here. I just observed here. Eclipse for tester has the features like you can integrate with Bugzilla, right? Some other features. I think downloading is okay. See, in fact, what happens is I'm not connected to my personal laptop. I'm using some the system which we generally use it for training purpose. So different trainers use this system for training on different technologies. So it has become a generic system where many people use the Eclipse for different purposes. Someone would have deleted some of the folders, also possibility. Okay, so from the next class onwards I will connect this to my personal laptop, hence so that we need not to waste time in just downloading and all. Okay, But first time I wanted to demonstrate how to download, because you really have to know how to download and start using Eclipse. So keeping that in mind, for the first time I had to download, but this second time why I'm downloading is because that Eclipse which we downloaded started giving some problems. That's why I had to download this version. So please bear a few minutes with me until that download gets over. Okay, sorry for it. And I really didn't want to waste the time as well. Now let us get into an actual programming and let us see how to define the data, what are the data types available in Java, etc. Okay, now I delete all the programs, the older programs. Okay, I can delete even the project as well. You can delete the project. Just right click on this, delete the project. Okay, I just select this option. It actually deletes from D workspace folder also. Yes, Nitin, I'm recording. Thank you. Thanks for reminding.
So can you repeat, Shishira, what we are doing now?
Okay, I'm just demonstrating on how to delete the project from Eclipse. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, see, select the project, right click, delete the project. So if you select this option, if you check this option, it also deletes the project from the workspace. Otherwise, what happens is, if you uncheck this, what happens is, it is deleted from the user interface. You will not be able to see the project, but it will still be present in workspace. Where the workspace location is, this is the workspace. The project will be present in this workspace, but you will not be able to see the workspace on the screen. But in my case, I just don't want to delete the project from the screen. I want to delete this project from the workspace itself. That's why select this option, click on OK. So now the project got deleted even from the workspace also. Okay. Now let us see some fundamental concepts of Java. That is how to handle how to handle the data or information. How are we going to handle this information in Java? Let's take simple example of mathematics which we studied in our school days. Okay, we used to represent, let's say, an area of triangle as height equal to 10 centimeters, breadth equal to 5 centimeters. So the area of the triangle is, what is a pi r square, right? So that is for circle.
Length times breadth, height
Yep,
times breadth.
length into
You mean rectangle, not triangle.
not triangle. Half into
Half into h times b.
half into,
H times b.
right? So what is this? Height 10 centimeter, breadth 5 centimeter. What is this exactly? Can I consider as the data? These are all the data. So when I have this data, so what is this H and B? This is the representative of the data, isn't it? I represent the data in this way. Let's say, like, the pi. What is the pi value? 3.142. This is the value of the pi. This is the value of pi. This is the data. My name equal to Shishira. This is the data, right? And let's say what is my age? This is my data. Let's say my age is 18. Just an assumption, okay? So this is the data. So these are all just the data, okay? As humans, we know that this is a data. This is the representative of the data. This represents the data, right? And now, let's say my age is 18. In next year, my age is 19. Like that, one day my age will be 80. So this data varies. The data which varies is called as variable. The data which does not vary, generally I don't change the name. My name is same when I was born. Now my name is same now. In future also my name is same. I can call that as constant. The data which does not change is called as constant. The pi value is constant. It does not change. Okay. The data which changes is or the varies is called as variables. So basically here there are two types of data. In data there are two types. The first one is constant. Second one is called variable. Variable varies, constant is same, it does not vary. Okay, so how are we going to represent the data? How are we going to represent the data in any programming language? Okay, when I say height equal to 10 centimeter, this is how I used to represent. But in my computer or in my programming language, when you say height equal to 10, this is called as the value or the actual data. This height may vary, that's why this is called as variable. If it does not vary, then I call it as constant. It's called as constant. But this much information is not enough in programming language. You need to also mention what is the type of data. It's very important. What is the type of data? Okay. I'll just type something and demonstrate. Please observe, think about for a while. What are the possible data that I can represent in this real world? Just think about it. I can represent the data as numeric, data. Under numeric data, I can have two types of numeric data, decimal, non-decimal. Example for decimal, 10.58. Non-decimal is only 10. For example, 12. Or for example, 158.762, something like this. Right? These are all the so this is called as decimal data, this is called as non-decimal data. So put together, I call them as numeric data. Okay. Apart from the numeric data, what else the data? I can say alphanumeric, I have the alphanumeric data. For example, email ID. Someone represent the email ID as Vinod or okay, John21@gmail.com. Please observe here, it has characters, numerics, special character, everything. So can I consider as alphanumeric? This is one type of data. Apart from this, sometimes I can represent the data only in the form of yes or no. Okay, sometimes I can represent the data only in the form of yes or no. For example, if someone asks, do you have kids? For this question, I can say only yes or no. I cannot say maybe. If someone asks, are you salaried employee? I can say yes or no. Right? So this yes or no kind of data is represented in the form of something called Boolean. in the form of something called Boolean, where I can answer this as true or false. True or false. Okay. So apart from this, in real life, do we have any other types of data? You consider anything here in your database, in SQL, you store all the different types of data. So all the different types of data, salary of an employee, department of an employee, and the PF number of an employee, right? So you, and the bonus of an employee, you take anything, route of the bus route, right? The statistics, financials, anything and everything, the data you take in the real world, you fall under numeric, alphanumeric, or Boolean. We don't have any other types of data, correct? So typically we call this as types of data. We call it as types of data, or simply as data type. We simply call it as data type. Okay? We call it as data type. That is, when I say 10, which is the data, this is a representative of the data, then what is the data type? What is the data type? 10, can I call this 10 as a numeric data? I call it as numeric data. Under numeric data, is it a decimal or a non-decimal? This is non-decimal data. Non-decimal data. Does it change? Maybe it may vary. Height is 10 as of now. Height of a baby is 10 centimeter as of now. In another two months, height of the baby may be 13 centimeters. After 1 year, it may be 15 centimeters. The height may vary. Then this is a variable, right? I have to represent the value of pi. Pi value is 3.142. What is the data type of this 3.142? This is a decimal data type. This is decimal, that is numeric decimal. And does this change? No, this does not change. It is constant. It does not change. It is constant. Now, this kind of situation, how are you going to represent in Java? That is, basically the question is this: how do we represent a data in Java? That's the ultimate question. Okay, in Java, all the datas are represented by something called variables or constants. Variable means the data which varies, which changes. Constant means the data which does not change. Okay, the syntax for representing the data is data type name data or value and the semicolon. This is how we represent the data. That is the data type, name, along with the actual data. For example, I want to represent salary of an employee. Salary equal to, let's say 200 pounds. Salary equal to 200 pounds. I need to represent an age. Age equal to 25. I want to represent the name. Name equal to John. Okay, I want to represent the place. Place equal to London. Okay, so this is how I represent the data. So this is called the name. This is called the name of the variable. This is called the actual data. But I need to have something called data type. I need to have something called data type. Okay. In Java, we do have data types. different data types. Okay, in Java we do have different data types. For example, for in numeric we have two types: decimal, non-decimal, right? In the same thing in Java, for decimal we have we have double. For non-decimal we have something called int, we have something called long. These are all the two data types that we have in Java. For decimal we have double and something called float. We have two data types in Java. One is called float, another one is called double, to represent a numeric decimal data type. And to represent non-decimal data types we have something called int and then long. For example, salary is 200. So we will apply our common sense. This is a non-decimal data type. When I say non-decimal data type, what is the non-decimal data type? Int or long? What is the difference between int and long? Long is used to represent the very big data. Int is used to represent the very short data. So 200 is the short data. I can represent in the form of int. So put together I just say integer salary equal to 200 pounds. Salary equal to 200 pounds. Okay. This is how I represent the data in Java. Now I need to represent this data. Can I call this as alphabet? Can I call it as alphabetical data? To represent the alphabet data, we have a data type in Java and we call it as string. We call it as string where S is uppercase. So the data type of this is string. The data type of this is string. This also, the data type of this is string where S is uppercase. But very important thing, string data must be enclosed in double quotes. String data must be enclosed in double quotes. How I'm going to represent the name? S uppercase, string, name equal to John. Okay, string place equal to London. So this must be in double quotes. Okay, so this is how I represent a data. This is how I represent the data. How I'm going to represent the age? Integer age equal to, this is little boring concept, just bear it for another 5 minutes. This is, I too understand it's really boring subject, but still. Integer age equal to 25. Integer age equal to 25. These are all some of the examples of representing the data in Java. Okay.
I have a question, Shashira.
Yes, Yadvinder.
I see that you're putting semicolons after the numeric values, but no semicolons after the strings.
No, I have.
Is there a reason?
Please observe, I have used the semicolon here.
Okay, on the right side. Okay, fine. I was looking at the orange, the one in orange. Okay.
That's why. Yes, that's why I have mentioned here as the syntax.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
No problem.
Cheers.
The syntax. Okay. Data type, name of the variable, and the actual data. Am I clear? So for example, in my program, I create a new Java project. I call the project as demo project. Click on finish. So I need to write the Java program under SRC. Right click on SRC, new Java program. Okay, I call it as again the demo program. I want public static void main. If you wish, you can select the public static void main here itself. I don't want any package. Finish. The See, this is to do. To do means it just indicates that you need to write the program here. This is just like indication given by Eclipse that you please write the program here. So shortcut key to delete the any line is Control D. Control D. Control plus D is the shortcut to delete entire line. Entire line. This is the shortcut to delete the entire line. Okay. Now I can delete this entire line using Control D. I can delete this highlighted line number 8 by using Control D. I can delete line number 5 by using Control D. This is how I delete the entire line and save the program. Now I represent my name, string name equal to double quotes Shishira, but this is my name, and I can print the name. Okay, here is the question asked by doing. Here's the question. Mobob, you have given some number. I could not understand. What is that number? Okay, so Toyin has asked a question. Give me an example for long number. Let's say, for example, your contact number can be an example for long. For example, in India, let's say long, my phone number equal to, this is my phone number. I need to mention it as L. This is my phone number. This is very lengthy number. So the big value can be accommodated by long. That's an example. Okay, I have a very small, let's say for example, age equal to 25. 25 is the very small number or the value, the lesser value I can represent by using int. But this number cannot be represented by using int. To represent the non-decimal values, we have integer as well as long. Integer is for small number, and the long is for the big numbers, but both are non-decimal. Okay, Toyin?
Hello, hi. So can I sign?
Yeah, please.
The long number, what's the minimum number? Is it going to be like maybe 6 number or 5 or? I know what long number is, but I just want to know the minimum number we can write as a long number.
Okay, so there is no minimum limit, but certainly there is a maximum limit. Simple example I'll give you, very simple example I'll give to understand this. Just imagine I go to office. From my home, I go to office. I go to my office. Okay. So when I go to my office, I carry a small water bottle with me. I carry a very small water bottle with me. Correct? If someone asks, why can't you carry a bucket? Why can't you carry a bucket of water along with you while going office? Pretty simple reason. Water is a bottle is a storage area to store less quantity of water when compared to the bucket. Bucket can carry large volume of water or large quantity of water. Bottle can carry less volume of water or less quantity of water. So it's up to an individual whether to use bottle or to use bucket. Depends on the situation. So bucket, consider it as long, which can carry the bigger value. Bottle, consider it as an int which can carry less value. Now coming back to the question, can't I use long, or can I use long to store only the value like 25? Yes, definitely. The content, only this volume of water you can even store in the bucket, but it is not required. It is not required. Bottle itself is enough. So there is no lower limit for any data types. This we call it as data types. But there is an upper limit. There is an upper limit. You cannot store the value, or you cannot store the water beyond this limit of this bucket. Similarly, for every data type, there is no lower limit. There is no lower limit, but certainly we have higher limit. I think I answered your question.
Yeah, another question, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you know when you said string name equals John, so that equals, yeah, can we join them together, like between the string name and then John? Is that the way we're meant to write it, or we can actually, do we need to give space before the equals to and after the equals to?
No, not certainly. Okay, see, just give you an example. String, okay, for example, place equal to, I can directly give London. See, I have not given any space between the equals and the value, but you need to give the space between the data type and the variable name. Place is the variable name is the variable name, phone number is the variable name. There should be space between the data type and the variable name, but it is not necessary that you need to give space between this space. I generally give this space only because of a reason that it looks better. It is more readable. According to me, this is more readable. That's the only reason I give the space. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Everyone understood? This is how we this is how we represent the data type or the data. If I don't know whether you observed or not, I'm writing this 2 slashes like this and writing something here. Isn't
Comments.
it? Yes. This we call it as comments. Comments, okay? This is single line comment, and this is multi-line comment. This is multi-line comment. Okay, this is multi-line comment, this is single line comment. Okay, now I want to print my name. So how can I print my name? What is this command to, what is the function to write the name? I say system.out.println is used for printing. So type sys out. What is the shortcut key to get the help? It is control space bar. Control space bar. Right? Here I want to print my name is. So can I say I need to print this variable? Correct? If you want to use any variables inside the system.out.println, then you need to use plus. You need to use plus. What is the meaning? Let me explain this to you. Everyone please observe. Here I'm using plus. There are different meanings of plus. One is it can be considered as an addition operator. It can be used as an addition operator. Second possibility, I can use it for concatenation. I can use it for concatenation. What's the meaning of concatenation? It is like combining. For example, my name, I can say this is my first name plus this is my last name. So this is my first name, this is my last name. Can you perform addition operator on this? Common sense, no. Then here in this case plus is used as concatenation and it gives me the result as why does it give the space? Because I have used the space here. Okay, in a same way, if I use 20 plus 30, then this plus is used as an addition operator and gives me the result as 50. Correct? So a plus can be used as an addition operator. Plus can be used for concatenation. Am I clear? So here what I'm printing, system.out.println, it prints the message. What message? It prints my name is plus name. What is the value of the name here? The value of name is Shishira Bhatt, right? I use this some color. This is the value. This value is assigned for the variable called name. So now what is the value of this name? Shishira Bhatt. Now it prints my name is Shishira Bhatt. Okay, now just let us run this. Right click, run as Java application. It prints my name is Shishira Bhatt. Oh, the same problem. Shit. So everyone understood what is the meaning of this data and the data type? Okay, the syntax to represent the data type is data type, variable name, and the actual data. So put together, what are the different types of data types available in Java? What are the different types of data types? There are different types of data types: integer, long, float, double, string, char, and there is something called Boolean. There are two more data types which I don't want to introduce. They are called as short and byte. I don't want to introduce this because it doesn't carry any value in Java. So example for integer 25, 158, 1587. These are all the example. So both integer and long is used for non-decimal. Both are used for non-decimal. But float and double is used for decimal. Okay. So example for long, as like I said, my phone number. This is my phone number. I give L, stands for long. Okay, this is an example for long data type. These are all the example for int. For float, just say example 2.25 f. This is lowercase f. Okay. For double, an example, this is an example for double. For string, an example for string, Okay, another example. This is an example for string. Char means only single character represented by single quote. For example, A, I want to represent the dollar digit 8. This is also called as character. This is single character. This is single character. Boolean, only two possible value, true or false. For example, in my program, Boolean married equal to false. It represents the person is not married. Boolean salaried equal to true. So you can represent only true or false. Okay, these are all the examples for data. This is very boring subject or the topic. This topic is literally boring because you will not understand why I'm doing all these things. But certainly I use all this in our day-to-day programming. Okay, so I'm basically done from this concept, that is the data and the data type is done. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, Shishira, Nitin here.
Yeah, Nitin, please tell me.
Yeah, I think
Okay, everyone please understand this, very important. Whatever I define within the main method, that is between this close brace and the open brace, is considered between this is considered as main scope or scope of main method. We call it as main method. So any variables or the data which we declare within the main method is called as local variable. Very important. Local variable can be accessed within the local scope. You cannot access outside the main method. I'll repeat once again. Any variables, for example, name, place, age, phone number, height, all these are the data which are present within the main scope, that is called local scope. Thus local scope variables must be used within the local scope. You cannot use it outside that. It gives you compilation error. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. Another very important thing. Okay. Oh, this erasing takes a lot of time. Okay. Instead of this,
You can control A and delete.
yeah,
This
thanks.
is Notepad, yeah.
Thanks, it worked out. Thank you. So another thing, please observe. Can I call this as a local variable? Right? This local variable please observe, this is called declaration. What do you call this as? Declaration. I'm declaring a variable called long. Okay. Now I need to add the value to this. I need to add the value for this. This is called initialization. So please observe, this is very, very important. This is called declaration and this is called initialization. You can do this declaration as well as initialization in multiple lines, or you can do it in one line. You can do it in one line. This is in multi-line, this is in one line. But you should make sure that before you use the variable, for example, I want to print the value. Okay. When I print the value, now can I say before I use it, before I using for printing or any other purpose, before I use the variable must be initialized. I'll repeat, before I use the variable must be initialized. For example, if I write it here, why it is giving error? I have declared the variable, I'm using it, and after the use I'm initializing it. This cannot happen. You have to make sure that before you use, the variables must be initialized. Okay, so now if I write it here, it works perfectly because before the use I'm initializing it. Am I clear? So two things
Yeah.
about the local variables.
Yes.
Yeah, local variables can be used within the local scope and it cannot be used outside the local scope. First thing. Second thing, local variables must be initialized before the use. 2 points. Local variables can be used only within the local scope. Only within the local scope and cannot be used outside. Second thing, it must be initialized before the use. These two things are very important about the local variables. Okay. With this, let's end our today's session. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.